everybody and welcome to another brand new video this evening. Of course it's New Year's Eve, so happy New Year's Eve / New Year in a few hours time. But today, of course, we're all getting very excited because we're 24 hours away from Resolution, or is it Resolution of the Daleks? So I'm just going to give you guys my sort of preview on what might happen. Yeah, so we've waited a week longer than we used to for a special over the festive period, moving it from Christmas Day to New Year's Day. But certainly there's a lot to be excited about, I think, with this episode. Of course, the return of the Daleks is going to be the big #1 thing, as it's pretty much officially confirmed now with that sort of teaser trailer, with an exterminate voice, a Dalek voice most obviously played into it. So the BBC have kind of given up on there. We're going to hide the spoiler, keep it quiet, because they've just kind of done a subtle way, but of revealing it, essentially, which is good news. As I said in my previous video about why we need the Daleks back, I think it is very important to make this special by introducing the brand new Daleks. The Daleks are back, just kind of making the stakes high, making it a big, epic, sort of almost finale to the sort of 2018 series of Doctor Who. So I think that that's all very positive and will hopefully create a fantastic special. Of course, the big question about the Daleks is going to be, what do they look like in Resolution? Because it's been strongly rumoured that they are going to be redesigned in some form. It would make a lot of sense for them to be redesigned. Obviously, Stephen Moffat, along with Mark Gatiss, tried to redesign them at the beginning of his tenure in Victory of the Daleks, though it's fair to say they were pretty much universally disliked, so they were fairly quickly dropped, or the Gold Daleks were reintroduced alongside one or two of these, the bigger Paradigm Daleks. And so it's always a risk to try and redesign the Daleks, and I hope that they don't kind of go too far in terms of the redesign. I mean, we really don't have any kind of previous experiences to go off because, of course, Chris didn't bring back any monsters in the previous series, so this is the first returning thing of any sort, really, that we've got in the Jodie Whittaker of Doctor Who, so it'll be very intriguing to see what it looks like. Presuming the voice sounds the same, assuming that's an actual voice from the episode rather than a previous Dalek voice, I don't know. And I hope that we get more than sort of a single Dalek, because it feels like it could... I know the trailer just gives the sense that it could be a single Dalek, but we really don't know for sure. I'd much prefer to kind of see more of an army of Daleks, a proper big threat. Although maybe it would show that a single Dalek can be a threat. Because of course that's been one of the things with a lot of the recent Dalek stories, is the Daleks haven't really killed anybody. Into the Dalek was a bit better for that, but other than that, most of the Moffat era sort of stories, the Daleks haven't really been a big threat because they just haven't really killed anybody. So to have just a single one of them, almost to a degree, recreate Dalek, although that was kind of also done with Into the Daleks, so I kind of hope they don't do that. But having a single Dalek in that regard gives a better kind of way of showing the kind of destruction that just one single one can cause, and kind of, yes, really building up the threat level of that before maybe in the future of this era introducing the full sort of army of Daleks, sort of wherever they've come from. I guess we'll find out, but I think there's definitely a lot of potential to sort of come from this meeting. I'm certainly really looking forward to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor facing off against the Daleks for the first time. That's always a great moment for any Doctor to kind of have their first sort of standing face to face with a Dalek who's probably going to try and exterminate them, as always. And just that sort of how Jodie kind of deals with that as this Doctor. And I think that's something I talked about in the video previously as well. And I think it's just something to really kind of get excited about, and will hopefully bring out the best in Jodie's Doctor and really just give her a little bit more material to work with, almost, I think, when you're facing off against the Daleks. Now, of course, this episode isn't only going to have Daleks in it, it's going to have other characters and other stuff, presumably. I'm sure they'll be the main villain and hopefully the bulk of the story. I think it'd be very disappointing if it takes like 47 minutes for the Daleks to actually turn up. They're on screen for 3 minutes and then get defeated. That would be quite bad, so I really hope that we get them introduced early on and they're really a big part of this story, because otherwise it's just a bit of a waste to bring them back. But I've got no idea. There's no reason to think that they won't be in a lot of this story. As far as I know, it is a 1 hour special. I think it's 7 till 8 o'clock, so that's quite good. Just gives it that little bit of extra time compared to the rest of Series 11 to be able to just kind of, yes, expand things a little bit more. It looks from the trailer like quite a big, epic sort of finale episode. That's certainly what Chris has talked up. He wants it to be that big, blockbuster, epic special for New Year's Day to finish off the series. As a whole, I think, and it does look like that. There's sort of car chases, massive explosions through different parts of time with soldiers and everything. It looks from the trailer like it will be quite big and spectacular, so I think that'll be kind of, that's all makes me quite optimistic given the kind of fairly flat finale we got to Series 11, where there just was that lack of the big epicness, explosions, lots going on, excitement that just wasn't there. Hopefully this will be the real finale where we get all of that. This episode also, of course, once again includes the 3 companions of Ryan, Graham and Yaz. Spoiler alert, they've all been put in the press release, which I'm sure a lot of you read anyway, but for the being in Series 12, so unless they've lied in the press release, which seems unlikely, then we know that all 3 companions will survive through this episode and into Series 12, which is a little bit disappointing in terms of taking away the threat, knowing that all 4 of our main characters will be fine. and the only characters the Dalek can actually kill are just disposable one-episode characters that we don't really care about. So that's a little bit of a shame in that regard. Maybe it's a lie, but it seems highly unlikely that it would actually be, that they'd sort of put it on an official BBC press release and then actually that's a complete lie. Would seem sort of quite weird. So I'm pretty confident that they're all going to survive. Is that a good thing? That's a debate for another video. But certainly I'm glad that Graham's surviving. That's the good bit, because he was the one who felt like he might die, but he's somehow looking like he's going to make it through both the Series 11 finale and the New Year's Day special. Apart from that, we really at this stage don't know very much about this episode. They've certainly kept it on the down low, like they do with every single episode of Series 11. They want to keep it sort of the spoilers intact. Of course, the actual one significant spoiler they didn't want to tell anybody got leaked, of the Daleks returning, of the whole of the sort of Chibnall era so far. That's the one thing that would have been good to keep secret, and the Sun went and leaked it. So clearly somebody working on Doctor Who knows somebody at the Sun who has contacted them and been like, "There's Daleks back, put it in the newspaper," and got lots of money for it. Would seem most likely what happened, but it's just a bit of a shame, because I feel like that could have been a big shock and surprise for the sort of New Year's Day special, to give everybody a reason to watch it, in terms of bringing back the Daleks, the biggest sort of villain in Doctor Who. And it just feels like that was kind of a missed opportunity, really. And of course it was unfortunate it was leaked, but now you feel like they need to swing it back and just full on promote it to get people watching, just knowing the Daleks are back, come and watch this episode, rather than it just being on catch up. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens before the episode. But at the moment it doesn't seem very likely they're going to do that. And so yes, we're just really going to have to wait and see what this episode is like. Of course it's a Chris Chibnall penned episode, so read into that what you will. Hopefully this will be his best shot so far, certainly based on the trailer, the prospect of the Daleks and everything. It has the ingredients to be his best story yet, but whether he actually pulls it off is another matter. I have confidence he's not going to ruin the Daleks, like some people have said, and that we're not going to get pink Daleks or anything ridiculous like that. They're just silly jokes that people are making. And so I'm optimistic and positive. I'm hoping that Chris can do a good job. I really kind of feel this episode has potential. I hope it all comes together to create a really brilliant special, particularly as, of course, it's the last episode we're going to get for a full year. It'd be nice to end on a high rather than on a whimper. And certainly everything suggests it's going to be a high. But that's just about it from this video, guys. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for the Daleks' return? Do you have any ideas sort of predicting what the plot's going to be about in this episode? It's something to do with the kind of different sort of something, presumably the Dalek travelling through different parts of time and killing people, killing soldiers or whatever. I'd love to sort of know if you've got any more extended theories than I have on this episode at the moment. Do just let me know down in the comments below all your thoughts on what you think is going to happen in this episode. But other than that, guys, do remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here. I hope you have a brilliant new year, so happy new year for tomorrow, and I'll see you again after the episode for a review. See you again very soon. Bye!